Okay, so this training session will be recorded and made available to staff and to students. And your comments and questions, both verbal and text-based, and your likenesses, if using a webcam, may be included in the recording. So good afternoon, guys. Welcome to this daily digital micro webinar. The micro webinars are a series of short webinars that will share some digital skills, hints and tips here at Cardiff Met. My name's Chris Carter. I'm one of the digital skills developers here. And the format of the session will be, I'm going to give you a quick 15-minute run through of what we can do with WordPress, just a quick overview of the site and how it works. And then at the end of that, I'll open up your microphones and I'll open up your webcams, and then we can have a bit of a Q&A at the end if you'd like. Okay, so this session is looking at WordPress. So first of all, what is WordPress? So WordPress is a free-to-use content management system. It's used by literally millions of websites now, and it's a really good website creation tool, and it's very versatile as well. And it's used by really big-name brands, right the way down to small everyday users, for just like simple blogs or simple websites as well. So it's got a great big reach, and it's very accessible. So it did begin life as a blogging platform initially, but now it's a great catch-all website builder for lots of different things. So now it'll run forums, you can have galleries, you can have like pay sites on there. It's good. It can be good for like learning management systems. It could be good for online stores. So you've got blogs, articles, news sites. It runs the gamut. It covers a lot of everything. And it basically works in two flavors, really. So if you've bought your own web space and you've got your own domain name and you've bought your own hosting, you can download the WordPress software from wordpress.org, and you can install WordPress on your own hosting, and then you can run a WordPress site that way. Or you can go to wordpress.com and you can basically set up your own site through WordPress themselves, and they'll host it for you, but there are limitations then to doing that. If you pay WordPress, you can unlock more features, but they offer a free version as well, which is great for the just run-of-the-mill standard simple websites. And that's what we'll be looking at today, is the free version. And all the site management for WordPress is all browser-based, so there's no like specific app you can download for it. I mean, you can download an app for it if you want, but the bulk of the time, anytime you work within WordPress, it'll be done through Chrome or Firefox or Safari or whatever your browser of choice is, and it'll all be built and managed within that browser. So with that in mind, let's have a quick look at how it actually looks and how it actually works. So I've got, we've got the Daily Digital Archive. So this is when we do our Monday to Friday daily digital posts and webinars. We've also got a WordPress site set up that archives these. And this is an example of how WordPress works. So WordPress is broken down into three main components. So you've got pages, posts, and themes. So pages basically are, well, let me backtrack. Posts, I think are more important. Posts are the bread and butter of the website. The posts are your content that you create on a daily or a weekly or a monthly basis. So for example, within the Daily Digital Archive, all of our archive posts here, you can see, and as I'm scrolling down, these are all posts. And these are all posts that we've tagged as our weekly daily digitals. They're all held on a page. And this is the Daily Digital homepage, the archive page. So this page is holding those posts. So pages are normally ways of presenting the posts. You can have pages that don't show any posts at all. You can have pages that are just pages by themselves. So they can be a specific thing that doesn't change. So for example, if you wanted to have like a contact page on your website, that wouldn't need posts. You could just have your email address or phone number or address or whatever, and that could be a standard static page. But then you can have other pages that do different things, and that's what we've got here. So we've got the Daily Digital Archive. This one shows all the Monday to Thursday posts. Then we've also got another page called Webinars. And the Webinars is another page, but this one only shows the Friday posts. So we keep all the recorded webinars on a different section. So we've got a webinars page, and that only shows the webinar posts. And then on the flip side of that, we've got the full post archive, which is another page. But this time, this page shows absolutely everything. So this shows the webinars, and it shows the daily digital Monday to Thursday posts. So you build up your posts, then you build your pages to show those posts. And then the final component is themes. And the themes are what dictate the appearance of the website. So the theme will dictate the color of the links. It'll dictate whether your links are bold or underlined, or what size they are, or what font they are. They'll also dictate the text color and other things like that. So your themes cover the overall appearance. Your pages are just pages on the website, and those pages can be holders for the posts, which are the main content. And that's the sort of hierarchy of WordPress. There'll always be exceptions to that. That's the way these websites work. But generally speaking, those are your three main components. So I want to show you now how you can quickly build a website pretty much from scratch. So let me reduce that out of the way, and I'll pop open the main dashboard. So when you first set up yourself on WordPress, you've got this dashboard here, and you've got all these sidebar full of options here. And then you've got some other generic kind of windows in the main homepage as well. So I've signed up as a student because I'm a staff member here, but I'm also a student, and I'm currently studying my PGCE. And as part of my PGCE, I have to do a blog reflecting on some of my teaching over the year. So I could set up a WordPress blog. So what I've done is I've used my student email address, set up a quick blog, and this is that very, very basic first page. So in my sidebar, you can see I've got posts, I've got pages, and then I've got appearance, and I've got themes. So those are my three main components. So if I look at my posts, when I click into that, this shows me all the posts on that website. So this is a brand new website. This is a default build from WordPress. I signed up to WordPress. This is what it's given me. I've got one post. If I click into that, this will let me edit that post. And as you can see, this is really basic. First post, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. I could either edit this, or I could delete it and start completely from scratch. So I'll keep this one as is, so we've got a post to begin with. So I'll leave that one as it is. Let's back out of here. So now we need to add a new post. So let's build up some quick content here. So if I click on my add a new post button, it takes a couple of seconds for it to think. So we call this one second post. And then I'll say, this is the second post on my new website. And these posts can include all manner of things. You can include polls in them, you can include graphics, you can embed videos, you can do lots of different things. And you can add these as different elements. So I could, for example, click inside here. If I type the / button, that'll let me choose recent and popular blocks. I could, for example, put an image in here, and I can either upload an image, or I could select an image from like an online gallery. So let's have a look at the pexels, for example. Let's grab some nice scenery. Here we go. We'll put that river into this post. And that'll insert that image there. And then I can make that image bigger or smaller. I can format it. I can use these settings. I could round off the corners. But you can do lots of different things with all these different elements. And if I click the plus sign down here, or the plus sign up here, you can see there's loads and loads of different things you can add to your page. You can upload files in here. You can make a little picture gallery. You can add some audio slideshows. You can embed YouTube videos. There's lots of different things. You can add buttons for functionality that will open up polls. You could use columns to do different layouts. You can put separators in to build space if you need to add some space on things. There's loads and loads of different things that WordPress will let you do. So let's go ahead and save this post. I'll publish this as it is. This is just to build up some quick content. So that's now published. Let's click on my W and go back to my dashboard. And we'll add one third post, just so we've got 3 posts to play with. So we'll call this one third post. And I'll just say another post for my site. And then we can use the tool here. And this time around, we could put maybe a quote. So we could put, say, to be or not to be. And that is by Hamlet. Well, it's by William Shakespeare, but Hamlet is the character that said the quote. So we've got another post in there now, really basic post, nothing too dramatic. But we can click on publish that. So now we've got some content. We've got 3 posts on this website. And at the moment, they don't really do much. They're just content that's waiting to be served up, essentially. So now we can go away from posts and we can go to pages. So now with this default version of the website, it's got a home page, it's got a contact page and an about page. So let's have a look at this to begin with. Let's click on the about page to start with. So this gives me some information about myself. So this is just the default generic information. So I could click in here. I could highlight this like you can in Word. And you can type in whatever you need to type in. You'll notice that the interface for these pages is very, very similar to the interface for posts. So anything you do in a post, you can pretty much do in a page. And if you don't want to have an element on here, say I didn't want to have all these different bits, you can select each element and then you can use these options here and you can move them around or you could delete them. So I could remove that paragraph or I can use my list view up here. And that shows me a breakdown of what the page or the post contains. And I could click onto these different bits and I can remove them. I could remove all these columns if I wanted to, or I could collapse those columns down and work in the individual sections. So this list view is really handy for letting you choose exactly what aspect you want to work on your page or your post. So let's get rid of those. And then I could take this here, for example, and if I wanted to, I could move it as well. I could either use the arrows, move it up bit by bit underneath all the different parts of the page, or I could use this little dragger and I can actually drag things around as well. So let's put that above there. And I'll say, let's talk about me. And then you can also, all these different bits and bobs, you can click on them and you can delete them. You can even use the delete key to remove things as well. So it's really nice and simple, drag and drop, easy to add, easy to remove. And you can always go to these little separated options here on the side, and you can update loads of the page that way. So I've done that update. I've briefly updated that About Me page. It's nothing spectacular, but it'll do. So I'll update that. Let's go back to my pages. And my contact page, I'm not going to use this contact page as a contact page. I want this to be something else. So let's go to my list view again. And this whole section here, the get in touch bit, I don't want that. I'm going to leave that off. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that completely. And I'll remove that spacer as well. And instead, I'm going to rename this page from my contact page. I'm going to call this my blog. And I'm going to use this page as a page that'll host all those posts that I've just made. So I'll rename this here and I'll say, here are my posts. And then in this area here where there's nothing here, I can use the plus button, look at all my different blocks. And then down here, somewhere in here will be a block that lets me add blog posts. There we are. So I'll click on that. That adds in my blog posts. And here I can do other things now. I can actually decide how they're going to look. I could click in these settings here, and I can decide if I want to have how big, how many words I wanted to show. how big I want the type to be. I can even show any categories, or I can show the author, or I can show the date, all these kind of different things. And you can even decide, what order you want to show them in. If you wanted to have them in like oldest to newest or newest to oldest. You've got lots of different customization options here. And that's the great thing with WordPress. Every theme that you use will give you different options and ways of expanding things. You can see you can just play around with all of these, and it'll hopefully give you some nice options to work with. So I've made that into my blog page. I'll update that now. And then the last thing I want to do is a home page. So if I go back to my pages area, I've got a home page here. Now the home page can display posts, or it can be a regular blog, a regular page. So in here, this one is currently displaying posts. As you can see, it's showing those different posts. But I've already got a dedicated blog page. So I'm going to go to my list view again. I'm going to remove this element that shows all the posts. So I'll remove that. I'm going to rename the page to be welcome. Then I'll say welcome to my basic website. And then just for good measure, let's go ahead and put an image in here again, because it just looks nicer. So we'll select an image. I'll go to the free images from the royalty-free things and just pick nice cloud image. There we go. So I can publish that or update that. And now the last thing I need to do is check out the theme of the site. So I can go to my appearance. There's my themes here, my editor. And this will let me edit the theme in some way. So this theme that I'm about to load up, it's broken down into three main elements. So there's a header at the top where it's got the name of the blog, and it's got a menu that goes to all the pages. Then it shows a display area in the middle that shows the page that it's linking to. And then underneath that, you've got a footer where you can put any other information that you want to put in there. And this theme also shows some other options as well. So I can click on the options here. You can see what areas you're working on. You can work on specific bits if they're selected. And if I type into here the header, I can add things into this exactly as you can with pages and posts. So I could, for example, if I wanted to put like an image into the header itself, I can place that in here. So you could put another image in there if you wanted to. Again, this obviously is only a quick demonstration, but it will give you an idea as to some of the things you can do. You can put that at the very top if you wanted to. If I click into this header itself, if I click into the columns, I could change the backgrounds for some of these. And again, you can use the list view to select these things. So I could put like a background color of like red on there, and I can make the text white, something like that. And you can then change the size of the text as well. You can change all these different specs here. And it's all slider based, so you can do a lot of chopping and changing and just working things around. And different themes will let you do different things. So I'll save that now. Takes a couple of moments just to get it saved. And if I go back to my dashboard, I can click up here. And this will show me a preview of the site. And I could also click visit the site if I wanted to see what it looked like. And now, again, this is really basic. It's not going to look pretty at all. But we've got my home page. So we've got the theme is the menu is always going to be at the top. Then it's showing my home page here with my initial image. I can click on the about page. And that tells me all about me. It's got that page there. And I can click on my blog. And that will then show those 3 posts that I've made. And I can click onto those posts. And that will open up that post there. And I can always then click back to the welcome page if I wanted to, or navigate around the blog that way. So that's a really quick whistle-stop tour of WordPress, of how you can make a very basic functional website with pages and graphics and so on. But again, this is just purely for demonstration purposes. But it's a very versatile tool, and the more time you spend with it and the more time you spend on it, the better you get your results with the actual sites themselves. So we do have, I've hidden a slide by mistake, so let's bring that back in. There we are. So we've got a WordPress course coming up, which starts next Tuesday. And this particular course will cover 5 sessions. I'll pop some information about that course into the chat in Teams here. So if you want to look at that, you're welcome to go and read up on the course, see what it covers, and see if that would be of any interest to you there. As I say, it runs for 5 sessions weekly, and at the end of that, then you can make your own website, submit that for the assessment, and then you can earn a Cardiff Met digital badge to prove that you've got those skills in making WordPress sites then. But that's a really quick run through of how WordPress works in a very, very quick fashion. So I'll go ahead now and open up you guys' mics and cameras. And then if you've got any questions or anything you want me to try and address about WordPress, feel free to let me know. So your mics should be open now, so ask away or pop a query in the chat if you want to. No? Okay, cool. Well, hopefully you guys have found that to be of some use, at least in giving you a quick whistle-stop tour of WordPress and seeing what you can achieve with it. Like I said, the more time you spend playing with WordPress, the better looking your websites will be. But as a quick kind of tool, it doesn't require any kind of coding knowledge. It's very much a drag and drop interface. And once you get to grips with how it works, you can really come up with some very nice websites indeed. So I'll go ahead and stop the recording now. But we will have a copy of this recording will be on that Daily Digital WordPress website. And there'll also be a copy in this chat as well if you want to go back and review that as well. So thanks for coming along, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you have a good weekend.